Dogs are humanity's best friends. From the very first moment humans lured wolves to be friendly with some leftovers, the evolution of humans and dogs has gone hand in hand. Today we've bred our best friends in an amazing array of breeds to fit whatever jobs we want them to do for us. There's a dog for every job, and some of those jobs are stranger than you might think. Here are 10 jobs you didn't know a dog could do. Number 10. Court dogs. Is there whatever extra comforting than a dog trusting you ample to let you pet them? When they relaxation their head on your knee, you comprehend you have made a new friend. It's no longer simply a warm feeling they can provide. Puppies have been employed to assist the prison device feature with their comforting presence. Children who have to testify in courtroom can locate at trial due to the strain put on them by way of the situation. With a judge, lawyers, and a jury all staring at them, a young baby can be terribly intimidated. That's where a canine's companion can come in handy. Dogs are being used to assist teenagers testify. A skilled canine can assist a infant proper from the second they record. Number 9. Monk dogs. Dogs and religion are a divine combination. From Saint Roche, a saint who was comforted via his dog, to Saint Christopher, who was once regularly depicted with a dog's head, to Saint Guinefort, a dog who was made a saint, humanity's love for puppies has frequently come shut to worship. On a more mundane level, monks and church buildings would frequently hold dogs to defend their gates. One monastery in Bolivia has determined that one canine is such a top boy that he deserves his own uniform. Friar Carmelo is a schnauzer. Carmelo was once photographed dressed in a miniature version of the monk's own dependency taken from a puppet used to amuse children. Since then the dog's Friar has emerged as a social media darling. His internet followers have dubbed him Friar Mustache for his distinctive facial hair, while the reliable faith of Catholics is that animals cannot get into heaven due. Number 8. Truffle Hunters. Truffles are one of the most treasured foodstuffs on the planet. Because of their symbiotic relationship with trees and their complicated existence cycle, it is not possible for us to farm truffles. If we prefer their rich flavor in our food, we have to go out looking for them, however now not with our personal confined noses. Some animals have an awful lot extra sensitive senses of smell than we do. Pigs are well recognized for their capability to snuffle out brownies beneath the ground, but they also have a tendency to consume the cakes they locate. Dogs are plenty much less probable to wolf down the precious fungi. Some puppies are trained to partner the distinct odor of cakes with pleasure mere days after their birth. In Italy, the Lagotto Romagnolo breed of dog is now associated basically with truffle hunting. It used to be a searching dog, and it nevertheless is, simply not searching for animals. Number 7. Ball dogs. Getting and recovering balls is one of the most well-known distractions for our canine pals. So for what reason do we use young men and young ladies for this errand during tennis matches? That was an inquiry one Brazilian tennis competition chose to reply. A few canines who were taken from the roads of Sao Paulo and spruced up as ball young men and young ladies and let free on the court. The point of the game was not to supplant their human partners, be that as it may. Since the canines were strays, it was trusted that onlookers who saw the canines would need to receive them. In the primary year, every one of the 4 ball canines were embraced. Before long, more wanders were brought in. The strays were not generally the most submissive of court partners. They immediately aced getting the balls, yet at times demonstrated reluctant to restore them to players. Also, they were just utilized during warm-ups. Who could focus on a tennis match when there are canines to take a gander at? Number 6. Art protector. At the point when we consider canines defenders of important things, we will in general consider growling watch canines stressing against their chains to avert looters. Riley anyway shields compelling artwork from more inconspicuous perils. Riley the gallery canine works at the Exhibition Hall of Compelling Artwork in Boston to identify the numerous bugs that can compromise the protection of artworks. Pests as assorted as moths and rodents would all be able to pulverize craftsmanship in even the best-run historical center. Riley utilizes his nose to track them down before they can make ruin. Riley was acquainted with the gallery at a youthful age to become acclimated to his environmental factors and to prepare him not to harm the craftsmanship himself. Riley has since become a mascot for Number 4. Leopard Bifrost. The medical advantages of possessing a canine are notable. Just as the activity we get from playing with canines, there are emotional psychological well-being benefits. Forlornness and despondency can both be decreased by the ameliorating organization of a canine, and not simply in humans. Cheetahs are worked for speed and running on the wide fields of Africa. A little fenced-in area in a zoo can leave them on edge and discouraged. Continually watching out for bigger hunters, they can feel compromised by the swarms of people gazing at them. A canine can make the ideal ally to quiet the cheetah down. Despite the legendary enmity that is said to exist among felines and canines, the two creatures appear to appreciate being in one another's organization. The canines offer an alleviating presence and feeling of friendship while the cheetahs give the canines a close companion. Number 3, Antitank Dog. Not all the positions given to canines are ones that go down well via web-based media. In the midst of war, people frequently select their creatures as partners. These creatures can be given something to do as load animals, watches, or even weapons. The anti-tank canines of the Soviets were planned as weapons, and single-utilize ones at that. The plan was to utilize the canines as a method of conveying bombs to the weak underside of adversary tanks. From the outset, the canines were prepared to deliver their bombs when they showed up, yet in the confusion of fight this ended up being a lot for the canines. They frequently got back to their controllers with a live and risky sway actually tied to their back. Next, the canines were fitted with bombs that exploded when they brushed against the tank. Unfortunately, the Russians utilized their own tanks to prepare the canines. The canines figured they would discover a treat under a tank, thus searched out the ones they were most recognizable with. When hostile to tank canines were sent in genuine battle, most were murdered before they arrived at any tanks. Some turned around towards their coaches and must be shot by their own side. Luckily, this is a doggy work that horrible young men need to prepare for anymore. Number 2, Penguin Protectors. Invasive species can totally wipe out a species, and human attempts to halt the unfold of such species can often backfire tragically. In one case, however, the results have been cute. Middle Island off the south coast of Australia is domestic to a colony of the world's smallest species of penguins, but they have come underneath hazard from foxes. The fairy penguins are as petite and darling as they sound, but have no herbal defense in opposition to foxes. Natural modifications to the coast had allowed foxes to get right of entry to the island when the tide was low. When researchers checked the population of penguins on the island after foxes had acquired to there, they observed that lots of penguins had been killed. In 2 nights, foxes had slaughtered 360 of the miniature birds. It was once a nearby hen farmer known as Swampy Marsh who got here up with a solution. Used to protecting birds from murder-happy foxes, he cautioned using dogs to shield the penguins. In the 10 years that puppies have been protecting the fairy penguins, there has now not been a single death from foxes. Number 1, Mayor Max. Even the most liked of politicians will have their detractors. You would be difficult pushed then again to find everybody who hates the mayor of Idlewild, California. He's a dog. Born Maximus Mighty Dog Mueller II, he has been mayor on the grounds that he used to be just 11 weeks old. Mayor Max is now not the first dog to be named mayor of Idlewild. His predecessor Max I died while in office, and the modern-day mayor was observed after a hasty search for a replacement. The first mayor Max won his role in a charity match towards a very of different pets. Since Idlewild is an unincorporated town, it has no government of its very own, and Max's function is more often than not honorary. Max too now spends his time spreading happiness to his constituents. Wearing a tie, he can frequently be considered on weekends visiting the town in the again of a pickup truck and barking to his fans. Despite an assassination attempt when some other canine went for Max's neck, it seems his lifetime appointment will remaining for some time yet. To encourage us, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button to receive all new things and to continue providing the best. Thank you.